Hello everyone, welcome back to your crazy and thank you for tuning into my show, Youngest in Charge. This is your host Nathaniel Echikwe and I'm back again on another beautiful Friday with another beautiful show for you guys. And I'm here with a very special guest. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Angela Conco. Thanks for inviting me onto your show.
Okay, thank you for being on with me today. And today, me and Angela are going to be talking about a very interesting topic it's more for people our age, but the topic is, why do we think that teens in this generation try to fit into groups that they know are not for them? But I'm just going to get started off by saying a lot of teens in this generation try to do that because they feel like they were born to impress someone. They feel like they need to impress their friends. They need to impress the current generation they're living in. But I don't think that's true, because if you go how you want to go and you be yourself, there's no problem with that. But if you're trying to impress somebody and you're going out of your way to do stuff that you know you wouldn't do on a regular basis, but you're doing it for people that you want to impress, I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. You get where I'm coming from?
I have this scenario, yeah. I don't really know the girl, but I know people that know the girl. So this girl moved from Carlo to Galway, and apparently Galway girls, yeah, they think that they're better than every other girl, you get me? So this girl from Carlo moved to Galway girl. She tried to fit in with the Galway girls. They have this own friend group and all. So she tried to fit in with them, you get me? And they were going on a trip in summer to Marbella, and they said for her to come with them, she's gonna have to pay for one of the girls. One of the girls in the group. And she paid for the flight, paid for the accommodation, everything that girl done. She had to pay for it just for her to go and be posting snaps like, oh shit, I'm with the up there girls, you get me? So when me and my friend were talking about it, we're just like, it's never that deep, to try fit into all these type of friend groups, you get me?
Yeah.
So I just think she's going out of her way, and at the end of the day, they'll dump her, you get me? They have a group chat even without her in it, everything. They give her buys behind her back, and she probably even knows this, you get me? But she's just being used. So yeah, I just think that's silly.
So that's a real life story?
Yeah.
That's very stupid of her to do, because at the end of the day, she's not in the group chat, she's not talking with them, she went on holidays for 5 days.
Now they talk, but they use her. So she's trying to fit in with people that she knows she's not on their level. She's not, at least the girl, because they're pretty, she's butters. so yeah, she's trying to fit in with people that she's not on their class.
But that's the thing that's wrong with teenagers in this generation. They know that for her, yeah, I think that she would have probably even known that this is not her original type of friend group, but she's moving to Galway now, so she wants to be friends with the people on the top, so everybody can say, oh, look at her, she's friends with them now. She just came from Carlo and she's already chilling with the Galway girls. But at the end of the day, she wasted her money on one of the other girls' accommodation, one of their flights. She paid for everything for her to do or just hang around people that she's probably not even going to be close with in the future, and they're fake. That's very stupid. But that's the problem with people in this generation, because I'm going to give you guys another example here. People try and hang around people because of what they see. Okay, so let's say that you see people on social media and you think they're cool and you want to start hanging around with them. But the thing is that when it comes to social media as well, you only get to see what somebody shows you. So if I take a picture of my new shoes now that are €1,000 and you think I'm rich,
you don't know what they
I could be, if I turn my camera around now, I could be in a homeless house, I could be homeless with all my family around me, but all you're seeing is the €1,000 shoes, so you're like, oh my god, this guy's rich, but you're not seeing my surroundings. So the thing is that you're only able to see what people show you. So if you see that this person is cool and living their life and you want to go and be best friends with them now, and now when you enter the friendship, it's not how you expected it to be. They're telling you to do this for them, do this. That's not how it's supposed to work. You're just supposed to fit in a friend group that you know people have the same personality as you, people that have the same vibe as you, people that you know like doing what you're doing. Don't go out of your way to try and impress anybody else or just to be friends with somebody just because you want to belong and you want other people to say, look at you, you're chilling with the top dogs, you're chilling with the top girls. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but back to what you said about the shoes, yeah, envy could be another topic. You know the way you post things and people will be like, oh, who does he think he is posting that? Is he the only one that has that shoe, blah, blah, blah. But you don't know what that person went through to get those shoes as well. You get me? So I just think envy could be part of that.
Yeah, envy does come into it, I agree. But envy wouldn't be it wouldn't be like, what's the word I'm looking for? It wouldn't be such as a big matter in that topic, but like the main I'm lost for words right now. The main subject in this topic is like, if I asked you, let's say you had a son, and the son comes home from school, let's say your son is 15, 16, and he's now telling you, oh, look at my new friends, this, that, and he shows you pictures of them, and you know yourself in your heart, these are not the type of boys that your son is supposed to be friends with, that you know the type of boys they are. What would you tell your son? And that, like, what would you tell him? Because let's say if you tell him that, and he tells you, no, mom, they're my best friends, this, that, I just can't leave them. What would you honestly tell your son if you know yourself down in your heart that these are not the boys your friends are supposed to be chilling with? Would you just let him go along with it to fit in?
Because I'll let him go along with it for a while. Then if I'm seeing changes in him and everything, I'll sit him down and be like, look, these are not your people. You're trying your best to fit in, because to other people you look like a clown. You get me? We know some people that always try to be in the mix and they look like clowns to us. You get me? So I would try to talk him out of it, telling him to try to find his own people. And if he still can't, if he doesn't want to listen, when they show him that they're not his real friends, then he will know.
Yeah, but at the same time, when people do that, do you blame them? Because like in this generation, like let's say like the up there people make it seem like the people that are not like up there with them are nerds or bums, because I think that's why people try and fit in so much. Because let's say if you have a top group now and then you have somebody that's not in the top group, they'll be looking at them and saying, who's this bum, who's this nerd? So people think that they're forced to belong inside the top group. So I don't blame them for doing it. They do have a reason, but I wouldn't say it's a valuable reason, because if somebody else's opinion is calling you a nerd or calling you broke or calling you a bum, what's your own? You don't owe them. You don't have to impress them.
But
you don't have
built
to.
Differently though.
Yeah.
Everyone is built differently. Some people take that to heart, that I need to belong. If I don't belong, I'm a nobody. And some people just don't care. You get me? So you can't say you blame them. It's just the way some people are. But I feel like as parents, when children are young, should try to explain to them that they don't need to belong to be up there. You don't need to fit in. It's okay to be you. You get me? It's okay to be you. It's okay to be alone sometimes. You don't always have to, they won't accept me if I don't do this. That shit shouldn't get to people. So I think parents should tell kids as they're young that you're unique. This, that, you do what you want to do. You feel me? So
I get you. There's something you said there that made a lot of sense. You don't need, you should be you. You don't need to be anyone else, because if you're you, you know you're going to have yourself all the time. Nobody else is going to have you, because when you fall, you're going to be the one picking yourself up, and you're going to get to a stage that your mom and dad aren't picking you up anymore. You're going to be picking yourself up, because if you now belong with those friends and you're in trouble, those friends are not going to be the one pulling you out of trouble. You're going to be the one pulling yourself out of trouble. So just impress yourself, because you don't need to impress anybody. And if you're doing something, like, how do I put it? If you want to do something now, and the first thing you're going to do before you do something, you're going to talk to yourself and you're going to say, is this thing good? Is this thing bad? You're not going to go to your friends and ask them, should I do this? Should I not do this? So keep in mind, when it comes to this, the number one person you need is yourself. So don't go to impress anybody. Just keep yourself impressed. You don't need to impress anybody, or you don't need to fit into
There's another
anything
example I have, So this girl wanted to fit in with a group of girls as well. Like, when girls say, how am I going to put it? When girls try to sleep with boys to look like, I get boys, you get me? And the fake girls will be gassing her up like, you could do this, you could do that. But then she felt pregnant. They didn't. But she was going around sleeping with boys so she could look like, I get boys. But she's the one that got pregnant.
So she tried to impress them.
Yeah, tried to impress them. And she's the one that ended up carrying the child. So now when you're pregnant, no one's your friend anymore, you get me? Because no one wants to be friends with someone that's carrying a baby.
How old is she?
By herself. Let's say like 19.
That's actually a good example, because you can see the outcome of that just because somebody is doing something doesn't mean you have to go and follow and do it.
She was just trying to impress them.
They were sleeping with boys, so you now went to go and sleep with a boy, but you're the one that's pregnant. They're not the one that's pregnant. So now who are you impressing? You're going to be impressing your child because it's not your friends that you're impressing anymore. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah. So yeah, it's not every time you try to fit in. That's how some boys do it. On boys' perspective, they join gangs, At the end of the day, it's you that, you know, go get sent to jail, or God forbid you die. You get me? So yeah, it's okay to be you, man. If they call you weird, then you're weird. But you don't always have to fit in.
Yeah, and even as you were saying, on the boys' perspective, let's say you go and join a gang or something, you see these people doing something, so say, me too, let me go and join a gang. They now put you in jail. What's going to happen? Your friend will call you and say, you'll be home soon, But who's the one that's sleeping in the cell? Who's the one that they're giving mashed potato and being no water to eat? It's going to be you. So who are you going to be impressing? You're going to be impressing the prison officer. So what's the good in doing that? So, the moral of the topic here is that you're not born to belong. You're not born to impress. Like, you're satisfied. Just be satisfied with yourself.
Yeah, as long as you're happy, then no one's happiness should. No one's opinion should matter to you.
If you're not impressing your parents, then just impress yourself, because you don't need to impress anybody out there. Just be yourself. And when it comes to a friend group, just go along with a friend group that you know is like you.
Motivate you to do better.
Yeah.
Motivate you to study. Motivate you to push you to go further. You get me?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But anyways, as I was saying, if you let's say you're in a friend group, yeah, and one of your friends or two of your friends are telling you to do something, and then your heart starts beating because you know that you're not used to something like that. So if you do that thing, you're doing it to try and impress them. You're supposed to be in a friend group where you have friends pushing you to do better and better, not when you have friends daring you to do stupid stuff. If you get where I'm coming from. But the moral of this topic is you're not born to impress. You get me? You don't need to impress anybody else. Just live yourself and impress yourself if you're not impressing your parents. And do you have anything to conclude?
Well, what I have to conclude. Sorry. What I have to conclude is just be you. Be you, man. You're better than everyone else. Don't let anyone bring you down or anything. So, yeah, thanks for listening.
I agree with the conclusion. So, you guys get the conclusion of the story anyways. But please subscribe to us on all of our handles. Subscribe to us on YouTube at URock TV. Subscribe to us on Facebook at URock Media 1, and subscribe and follow us on Instagram at URock Media 1 as well.
Thank you for having me on this show.
No problem, it was a pleasure. Everybody stay blessed. Have a blessed Friday. This is your host, Nathaniel Chikwe, and thank you for watching my show, Youngest in Charge.